Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala amongst the people. Ar-Rahman, the most merciful. Last time we talked about how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started the surah by giving us the hope in the greatest news by saying Ar-Rahman, and that's the beginning of the news. The most merciful. What about him? Whatever comes in the surah is all about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ar-Rahman is all about the one who granted his ibad rahmah throughout different ways, and he granted us the blessings that were mentioned in the surah because of his mercy. For example, Ar-Rahmanu allama al-Quran. We said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught the Quran and taught man eloquence due to his rahmah. And thus it is predicted from the people that we need to teach, we need to seek knowledge and teach it with mercy, with rahmah. And throughout, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also talked about the adl and the justice that He has prescribed upon His ibad. Whether it is adl and justice that comes with words or with actions or even with intentions. أَلَّا تَطْغَوْا فِي الْمِيزَانِ. And this is a qanun, this is a rule that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set for His ibad. It's important that you do not transgress upon each other. أَلَّا تَطْغَوْا فِي الْمِيزَانِ وَأَقِيمُوا الْوَزْنَ بِالْقِسْطِ. And rather, weigh your scales with qist, with justice, with accuracy. وَلَا تُخْسِرُوا الْمِيزَانِ. And do not underestimate justice. Everything in life indeed has a mizan. Everything in life has a mizan. I'll give you an example. A mizan is a scale and something that balances two wings of things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us as humans, feelings and desires and needs. The need of food, for example, is a desire, is a ni'mah that Allah has given us that we need to eat in order to survive. But if we eat too much, that will become not a blessing, it will become a niqmah. It will become harmful. Instead of ni'mah, it will become niqmah, which means harmful resource. The same thing with everything else. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the ni'mah of vision, of sight. And He ordered us to look at things that get us close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we start to lose that rule, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make us feel the imbalance. And the ni'mah, or the desire in general, or ash-shahwa, is like, this is a beautiful example that I always remind myself with. It's like the engine in the car. It takes whatever it needs from the gas tank by droplets. And this is the qadr, or the estimated amount that Allah allowed us for our desires. If we try to increase that in a way that is not lawful, what's going to happen? We'll lose it. The same thing for the car. Imagine that the whole tank of gas comes into your engine, what happens? Instead of driving horizontally, you'll be driving vertically, right? You'll be flying. May Allah save us all. But that's the symbol of the shahwa, or the desire. Everything in life is set by a mizan, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has directed us that do not transgress, do not exceed the needs that you need. أَلَّا تَطْغَوْا فِي الْمِيزَانِ وَأَقِيمُوا الْوَزْنَ بِالْقِسْطِ وَلَا تُخْسِرُوا الْمِيزَانِ. And after that we also covered the ayat that talked about how Allah created us. He said, خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ صَلْصَالٍ كَالْفَخَّارِ. He reminded us with the origin of ourselves, from the dirt and the clay that He created our bodies from. And then when He honored us as man with the ruh of His Azza wa Jal, and then He set us responsible for our living. Thus, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the reality that, hey, you are created from dirt. So do not think that you are an angel. Do not think that you are above others. All of us are created from clay, from dirt, from turab. كلكم من آدم وآدم من turab. As the Prophet ﷺ said, all the offspring of Adam, they come from what? From turab and dirt. So we're not expected to be above others. We're all equal in that category. And the only thing that people differ is at-taqwa. And the clever one, the one who works hard on himself, on herself, the one who gets closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and strives for that closeness, strives for that proximity with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah make us all close to Him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us all amongst the people who are beloved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And may He Azza wa Jal grant us tawfiq in all that. Then the surah talks also about the other entity of the creation that Allah has created, which is al-jinn. A lot of times we forget that we are living in life, in dunya, as well as the jinn also live in this dunya, and also they have several tasks like man. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminded us, and He said, وَخَلَقَ الْجَانَّ مِن مَارِجٍ مِّن نَارٍ. And jinn was created from marriage from nar, which is a mixture from nar, from fire, a mixture of fire. You see the flame of fire, it has colors. What's the first color from the bottom? If you have a fire flame, what is it? What's the color? Red or orange, right? Red or orange. Above that, blue. Between the blue and red, it's colorless. It's colorless. And that's the mixture between the two colors of the flame. And that's the marriage. It's called in Arabic the marriage, or the mixture of the two. Why we do not see jinn. We do not see jinn because they're invisible. They are colorless basically in their creation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that He created them from nar, from that mixture, which is marriage. And then Allah questioned us both, man and jinn. And He said, فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. So which of the favors of your Lord do you deny? Can anyone tell us the answer? What is a favor that exists in your life, tangible or intangible, that you can deny, that you say, this is not from Allah? This is not by the power of Allah. Can we name anything? Nothing. فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. Did you have an answer? No? What were you thinking about? What is it? Not praying? Not praying. Okay, so if you do not pray, that means that you decided not to pray, right? And who created you? Allah. Who gave you the ability to think? Allah. Thus everything belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So everything that you see encompasses the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a great example. Jazakallah khair. So anything that you can think of, you cannot run away from the reality that Allah has caused it to exist. Ali radiallahu anhu said once, if you want to disobey Allah, if you want to disobey Allah, go out of His creation. Try to go out. Can we? Allahu Akbar. That's the true ultimate thinking of the reality about our living, subhanAllah, about our life. فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, sallu ala rasulillah, he recited this surah upon the believers, the mu'mineen, the sahaba. And then at the end, تَبَارَكَ اسْمُ رَبِّكَ ذِي الْجَلَالِ وَالْإِكْرَامِ. He finished the whole surah. They listened to the surah. And he said, what is wrong with you? You do not say what the jinn has said when they listened to me reciting this surah. What did they say? About فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. So which of your Lord's favor do you deny? The jinn said, none, ya Allah, we deny. فَلَكَ الْحَمْدِ. To you is all the praise. That's the jinn. And when Allah talked to man and jinn in this surah, in the repetitive statement, فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ, He addressed man and jinn. Man and jinn. An indication of the holistic question that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking us. So with that, my dear respected, we learn that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through His rahmah, teaches us really what benefits us. That's why in the dua we say, Ya Allah, Allahumma allimna ma yanfa'una. Oh Allah, teach us what benefits us. And what benefits us comes from Allah's mercy. And what knowledge comes from Allah is mercy, due to His mercy Azza wa Jal. Anything in your life, any aspect of your life, success or trials, come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for a reason, because of His mercy. Because of His mercy, Azza wa Jal. Next time, inshallah, we'll talk about more meanings that the surah verses talk about. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, throughout the surah, just as a theme, He brings to our minds the signs of greatness and majesty of His that He created in this life. The mountains, the earth, the sun, the moon, the oceans, all that creation that we think is really simple, but as small as the what's it called? The sapling of plant? Is it sapling? Sapling, right? The sapling, when it flourishes, as small as it starts with, this is a sign of Allah's greatness. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said here, وَالْحَبُّ ذُو الْعَصْفِ وَالرَّيْحَانِ وَالْحَبُّ ذُو الْعَصْفِ وَالرَّيْحَانِ. That's an indication of the sapling, the little small plant that starts to grow. That's indicative of Allah's greatness. And then on the other hand, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell us throughout the surah about the greatness and the beauty that He prepared for His ibad in Jannatul Firdaus, in that destination, in that place that we are striving to attain and to be in bi'idhnillahi azza wa jal, after Allah is pleased with all of us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may be pleased with all of us, azza wa jal. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us His mercy. اللهم ارزقنا رحمتك في الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم ارحمنا في الدنيا والآخرة. Oh Allah, we ask you to have mercy on us in dunya and in akhirah, Ya Rabb al-Alameen. اللهم تقبلنا في عبادك الصالحين واغفر لنا زلاتنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم ارزقنا الحكمة في القول والعمل. Oh Allah, we ask you to grant us hikmah and wisdom in what we say and what we do, Ya Allah, Ya Kareem. Oh Allah, we ask you the acceptance in dunya and akhirah. Oh Allah, we ask you to grant us the knowledge that benefits us. Ya Allah, make us benefit from that which you teach us, Ya Rabb al-Alameen. Oh Allah, grant us your mercy in dunya and akhirah. Grant our parents mercy in dunya and akhirah. Oh Allah, grant us tawfiq. Allahumma ameen. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Jazakumullahu khairan.